Hey everybody. Hey everybody. We made it. We made it to Friday. Hey everybody.
Go DJ, that's my DJ. Go DJ, that's my DJ. This week on ABE Black Business Live, our black highlighted guest is DJ Steve Vassar of The Vibes. Hit Dance Party on Twitch every Friday at 5 p.m. Eastern. The Vibes is a place to hear all kinds of music set to all kinds of themes, as you can see. Join the Vibes family every Friday at 5 p.m. DJ Steve Vassar also had virtual, hybrid, and in-person DJ services. We will learn about how he came up with the vibes and how he made a thriving DJ business during the pandemic. We are excited to have DJ Steve Vassar on the next ABE Black Business Live. Go DJ, that's my DJ.
When I tell
Go
you,
DJ,
I'm super
that's my
excited.
DJ.
When I say
This
super excited, I am super excited to have DJ Steve Vassar of the hit show The Vibes on Twitch tonight as ABE Black Business Live's special highlighted Black Business. So we made it. We made it to what? Friday. And it's ABE Black Business Live. My name is Mika Johnson. I'm the curator of all Black everything. And this is how it goes, right? First 30 minutes, we're going to hear from the Black highlighted business, okay? We're going to hear their journey, entrepreneurship, and then for the next 30 minutes, we're going to hear about the services of the Black highlighted business. So, tonight, we have no other than my brother, my fam, DJ Steve Vassar, and I'm going to have him come on right now. Thank you everybody for coming in. Hey y'all, all my Vibes family is here.
Yes, yo, what's up, Mika?
I'm so super excited. Listen, Steve, please tell the people who you are.
What's up, everybody?
And what you represent. Let's go.
What's up, everybody? It's Steve Vassar. I'm so hyped. I'm just over talking. I'm so sorry, Mika, but I'm so hyped to see you and be with you and be with the whole crew. All Black everything. This is Steve Vassar, as in DJ Steve Vassar, as in the curator of the Vibes, and certainly one member of the Vibes fam. And certainly, Mika, you like a day one. What's up, Aisha? What's up, Lori? What's up, Marla? We got the Vibes fam in the building.
Yes, they strong.
What's
always.
up, Lisa? Just all kinds of folks. And I'm giving y'all a behind the scenes look, a little bit of one. I had a whole beat set up and everything, but I didn't want to get us shut down, so I put that away. But I'm like, I'm here and grateful. Thank you, Mika.
Let's go.
Let's go.
Let's go. Listen, so you know I'm extra hype, and it's because like I saw this progression. You see what I mean? Like when you lived it, but I saw it happen, right? Right before my eyes, actually. You know what I mean? All of the people that the Vibes family have in it are just genuine like people, if that makes sense. Like it's the people that you want to have in your family that you might not, you know what I mean? But it is really like a family. Let's go. How did you come up with the Vibes? Let's go.
So, you know, I mean, it's pretty straightforward, right? And you said this to me when we started, like when this whole thing started. I remember you, Aisha, me, and Lori was in the background lurking, like, just go, do something, just go, you know. And I wanted to come up with something that was it didn't have to be original. It just needed to be simple and get it through. And it allowed for us to paint on whatever idea we wanted to paint onto it, right? And the idea behind a vibe is literally a vibration. It's short for a vibration. It's a feeling. It's, you know, music moves through you. It doesn't just sit with you. It moves you and it moves through you. And so for me, I wanted to have some kind of theme, and it felt like the vibes was the right vehicle. So I wanted to keep everything really simple from a visual perspective. That's not how it worked in the background. Marla, don't talk about me. That's not how it worked in the background. Lori, don't talk about me. That's not how it worked in the background. Because in the background, I was always trying to figure out how to get the visuals right and how to get the feel right to match the music I wanted to play. But the vibes for me allowed me to, and what I learned along the way is how to curate and be really careful about what kind of music I wanted to play or what kind of feel I wanted folks to have when they were with us.
Let's talk about let's talk about this, how you started, and it's beautiful now, it's perfect now, right? But how you just start, and then it'll all figure itself out. Let's talk about that journey. Let's go.
Yeah. So it was quite a journey. So initially, you know, started with me with me walking into a job that ended, you know, abruptly, one of my dream jobs, and then kind of sitting around realizing that one of the things that always carried me is music, right? And so what I decided to do is anything going forward that I did, I needed to have music be a part of that. And again, thankfully I had friends like you and friends like Aisha, and certainly my wife and other folks who were like, look, you know, like, come on with the music. Like, let's do it. Pandemic hit just after, like, you know, things looked like they were falling apart. And when pandemic hit, I, like a lot of people, I sat and I watched folks like D Nice and a good friend of mine, Mick, I should say, who were DJs and big in the streets, and they decided to go online, go on Instagram and spin. And I watched specifically D Nice on a Tuesday night when it was like maybe 200 people in his live spinning, and people were enjoying it. Wednesday night, it was 400 people. Black Thought of the Roots was in there. Tariq Black Thought Trotter was in the set. And he was like, yo, you ought to call this club Quarantine, because we in here and it's a club and we quarantine. That's what next thing you know, Saturday, it was like 1,000, maybe not. It started out with 1,000 and it went to 10,000 people. And by that Sunday, he had reached something like 25,000 people, like Michelle Obama and Oprah, and all these people were showing up and vibing with them. And that inspired me, right? I have to give credit where it's due to Mick and D Nice, and they inspired me. So I was like, well, you know, it's not like if they could do it, I could do it, but I'm like, let me try. You know, I know a few people.
But let's stop this try. Let's talk about this. You were a what?
I was a vice president at the Campaign for Black Male Achievement.
No, but you were a DJ before. Long before. Yeah,
so that's going into the real history. You digging in the crates, as we say.
No, but you it's not like you just woke up one day. No. I don't want people to think like he just woke up one day and he's not a master of this, or he's not a student of this. It didn't just like, he didn't just fall upon this. It didn't just like, I'm gonna get my laptop right and I'm gonna start mixing. That's not what had happened. What had happened was, go ahead.
What had happened was, right, thank you for that setup. Yeah, you know, I just went straight across to like where we were, not the right. So before, most people knew me in the nonprofit sector, but they didn't know I had a whole lifetime, 2 lifetimes ago. Before there was internet, thank God, I was in the streets 8 nights a week, you know, spinning anything that I could DJ at. And I DJed with vinyl.
Amen.
I came
around.
Look,
you know,
yeah. Actual wax. And, you know, after 2001, literally New Year's night of 2001, I had done a New Year's party, and I had to fight the promoter to get paid because I literally was only supposed to open, and I wound up DJing the whole night. So
and people was what?
The whole walls were sweating. They were I mean, like, you know it's a party when the walls are sweating. You know it's a party when there ain't no cups left. You know it's a party when somebody's shoe is over in the DJ booth and there's pieces of weave over in the corner. Like, you know it's a party. And so what it was like, I'm looking at this room and DJ, I was only supposed to be on from 10 to 11, but I wound up spinning from 10 to 2 in the morning. And the place was ram-packed. Like, people were still coming from across town trying to get in the place. The police shut us down. So I had to fight to get my money, left the club, saw something I just didn't want to see, and I decided, that's it, I'm not spinning in public anymore.
Let's fast forward to pandemic.
And fast forward to pandemic, and I had DJ'd in the house. So at this point, I still have records, I still have equipment. I'm DJing in the house, and that helps me keep my sanity and that kind of thing. And when we get to pandemic, you know, one of the things I realized was that, yeah, I want to disappear into my music, but I don't want to drive my wife crazy. So let me schedule this, you know, and maybe some folks will join, maybe they won't.
Shout out to Lori.
Lori.
One of the best wives in the world.
Yes.
I just got to shout this out. Y'all, me and Aisha met Steve, and Lori was so open. Like, some people, they don't want their husband to be working with women. They don't want, she is so chill, cool, and just like unbelievably supportive, to a point that it's just like, yo, y'all, it's like you and Aisha show me, you know, what I need to be when I get my person. You get what I'm trying to say? Like, it's like Aisha and Ron, Lori and Steve. And I know y'all go through things. That's not what I'm talking about. I'm talking about that thing of do it.
That's right. That's right. No, she's incredibly supportive, and Lori knows where my heart is. And she also knows, I will tell you that, you know, she also keeps me very grounded. And I'm grateful for that. And also, not just grounded like stuck, but grounded like don't forget, but keep going. Don't forget, keep going. And so with that permission and with that kind of fuel, what started happening was I said to her, okay, I'm going to really try to manage and control this, because I know what it meant in a whole other lifetime to go all the way off the rails, to go all the way out the window and just travel down that rabbit hole and wind up in places I didn't have any business in.
Right.
So in this, I know the mistakes. The question is, what's the best thing that could happen? And so one of the best things that happened was, you know, we went on Twitter and started, you know, spinning on Twitter. And that's where all the people were. And that's where all of our people were. So we started there, and that was hundreds of people, sometimes thousands of people falling through on a Friday. We started out Fridays at 4, and I went at 4 because everybody else was doing 5 o'clock. Anybody that had tables or an idea around music, they were spinning. And I didn't want to get in their way, because I also was, you know, getting my land legs around how to do this thing. And thankfully, along the way, what started to happen is people would show up on a regular basis, right? People like Marla and people like, you know, just all kinds of friends and colleagues that would show up, would vibe out. You know, we would crack jokes. And I listened to some of the very first sessions from that time. And I'm going to tell you, Mika, I was mad nervous. I was super nervous. I'm like, first of all, I feel corny. I feel old. I feel like, who going to watch this? What if I miss a mix?
Mind you, people watch, not only watching, but engaging.
That's right. That's right. Watching, engaging, you know, like really enjoying it. And one of the things that's tough about doing this the way that I do it, like virtually, that I've done it when it was mostly virtual, was you don't get to see the people, right? Like, I feed off of other folks' energy when I can see them. And so I, you know, when I went over to Instagram, loved to do it, was on Facebook for a while, loved to do that, reconnected with a lot of people that I, you know, the connections had fallen off over the years. and they could see me and I could see them occasionally, but you know, mostly it was just me shouting people out and talking to people and playing songs and us going back and forth that way in the comments. And so, like I said, along the way, thankfully, between, you know, like this crew started to build this, what felt like a family, what felt like, you know, this group of dope individuals. And when I say they're dope individuals, I'm talking about like people who run organizations, work at organizations. They love music and they love working on behalf and with the people. Yep. And that's, you know, for me, like anytime I'm in my element, when I can be working with people on things I care about, with people I care about, and I'm able to, you know, take care of my family, and there's music involved, like that's the sweet spot. And what happens is every Friday, that sweet spot happens. It's these dope people like you, like Aisha, like the, you know, like the Marlas of the world, like Donna Frisbee Greenwood.
Yes.
I never met, like all over the country, who are like, yo, like I want to be part of this. And also, I'm sorry, not just best global.
Listen, Steve, these stages of the vibes, and everybody, it is pinned right here. Follow on Twitch. It's twitch.tv /DJ Steve Vassar. You're going to follow him. You're going to download the app on your phone. You're going to download it on your computer. And every Friday at 5 p.m. Eastern, unless otherwise noted, it is the vibes. And when I say, you know, everybody thinks that you have to watch. You can listen. You can put it on your car and listen. When you have time, please engage the chat. Be popping. You know, the vibes is it, y'all. It's just so fly. So I want to go through these stages because just like in the beginning, you said, you know, it was stages that you went through. These stages of these social media platforms that you went to that got you to Twitch. Let's talk about it. Which one?
Yeah, so it was just like one door shutting after the next. So what started happening was, and again, I'm gonna try not to look at the screen and hope Marla doesn't throw a brick at the phone as I say this. We knew that Twitter was shutting down because they were shutting down Periscope, and Periscope was where you could broadcast live, and it was super dope because you could go as long as you wanted with no censoring happening in music. And they said they were going to close that service down once Twitter bought Periscope. So that created, you know, a frenzy. Now, before Twitter, I was on Instagram and I was on Facebook. The issue with Instagram and Facebook is if your name was not D Nice specifically, I could spend for like 20 minutes or 30 minutes and I'd get booted. Now, some DJs have figured out how to trick the matrix. I have never had that success. And so as a result, I kept getting booted off. And of course, it's hard to keep your audience, you know, because they got other stuff they can look at that's more interesting than me on Instagram. So at any rate, we went from Instagram and Facebook and then from there into Periscope. From Periscope, when it shut down, then we found ourselves in Twitch. And the beautiful thing about Twitch is that they are making so much money. Twitch is owned by Amazon. They're making so much money off of games, off of gaming, which is their bread and butter. They're paying very little attention to DJs. And thankfully, we had to rebuild, and it was tough. We had to rebuild the community almost from scratch because our community of listeners is, you know, it takes them a while to move from one platform to the next, and it takes building trust, and it takes them to realize, no, my information isn't going to be snatched if I go over there. And then there's all this wild stuff happening on Twitch. Like, it's stuff you could put up a green screen and have craziness happening in the background. They got emojis that are called emotes. It's a whole other universe over in that space.
It is. Let's talk about that. So, like, being on Twitch, you guys, and it's spelled TWITCH, is a whole nother universe. When I first came on, I said, oh my gosh, what is this? But what I can say is it is for the people because you can buy merch, you can buy these emotes, you could buy subscriptions, and they all go to the person that you're entertaining. Other places you have to put your Cash App. You know, you would have to do other things. You could do that and it goes straight to DJ Steve Vassar right there on that page. So they are really for y'all making y'all money. Let's talk about Twitch and the advantages of Twitch, like the e-bots. Let's tell them what that is.
Yeah. So it's what's fun about it, and I'll come back around to the monetization part, but what's really fun about it is the engagement. Like, you can set the chat, and people, if you got the right kind of people, and again, this is where I got to give major props to Marla, who is
shout out Marla
strategies, because, you know, Marla is in there. How we got connected is Marla would fall into my sets on Twitter, and she's like, oh, here's another, you know, good brother that's doing dope sets, you know, dope music. I like his vibe. I'm going to keep following. And then she started engaging in the chat, and then she started leading the chat, you know, helping people kind of stay rallied around. And I was like, can you please hang with us, please? Because I can't do all of this. And I'll show y'all just a little bit of behind the scenes in a moment as to why I have to, that's so real. But having a chat is important. Like, you got a moderator, somebody who's making sure the chat is safe, but also that people can talk to each other and have fun. You've got that. You've got emotes. You've got, like you said, subscriptions, which is dope. You can use
tell the people, what are emotes?
So emotes they're kind of like emojis on steroids. And what happens is you can create these things. They are wild. It's like there are these little images that you can create and upload, and people can use them. Some of them
fly all over the screen while you doing stuff. So it could be 50 of them, and they're just like this, y'all. It's so decent. I mean, when you first see it, you're like, what the fuck is going on? But then you're like, how do I do this? Like, I want to do this. So some of them are free, but the flower ones, usually are the ones that you purchase, and it's usually with the vibes. The fly thing about the vibes, usually with the vibes has themes. So usually, if it's a theme and it's Janet Jackson, they'll have Janet Jackson ones, but all the different Janet Jacksons, because you know it's like 50,000 Janet Jacksons, and then she be like flowing all over the screen. It's so decent. Let's go.
And that's one of the things that I could set up so that they blow up on the screen. And I tend to like to, you know, just let them float around, you know, that kind of thing. And then of course the chat. Like, if you come to the vibe set, you know, just know that first of all, it's gonna be like sliding that line of ratchet, but like classy.
It's a meme out, like, I like to do ratchet stuff, but classy ratchet.
Right.
It's classy ratchet. This is what it is. But they set you up for success. So what I'm saying is their chat is like one of the most popping chats that I have ever seen, because they are talk about things you know about. They are busting it up, fun. But they are also, like you said, like it's not offensive, if that makes sense. It's not offensive, but you're still having fun. Let's talk about your chat experience. Do you see the stuff? Like, I know you like nigga, but do you be reading it? Can you follow it? Like, how does that go?
Sometimes I can, but sometimes I can't. I want to just show y'all something real quick. This is a little bit behind the scenes. And I'm on my iPad as I'm talking to y'all.
Right.
But I have a screen that's focused on like the broadcast. So I have a laptop focused on the broadcast, and then I got a laptop that's focused on the music. And then I got the music like on the controllers. And then I got the lights going. And then I got my phone. People are texting, they're like, yo, that record was stupid. What's wrong? No, I'm joking. And then I sometimes have my iPad going so I can see what else is happening. And one of the reasons, you know, people like Marla and Lori are so important and so valuable is because, to your question, no, I can't catch everything that's happening in the chat. Sometimes that chat is popping. I mean, it's rolling.
Most of the times. That's why I'm like, how does he do this? Like, how is this done?
And I'm now in the place where I will see names. And I have to be careful because if I, you know, like if I get trapped in the chat, like if I pay attention to the chat, my record will run out. And that used to happen quite a bit because I love seeing everybody. I love seeing everybody and hanging with them and hearing them bust it up.
No, they said that thing be moving. That's right. They are so serious. Yes, yes.
Out and good stuff, you know, like Marla will come in there with Black History facts or this month's facts. We have a great friend, shout out to Beyond Beards, Lisa and her husband Joel. Joel will come in there and break out with some encyclopedic piece of knowledge that'll make you stop and think, like, wait a minute, you know. And then we got folks like Ramel, you know, that come in. And imagine, and Marla just said this, our chat is on slow mode, meaning that we have it on a delay of about 4 seconds so people can actually read it. And it is still cranking.
No, it is.
So, like,
and I don't know who came up with this, this like, you know, at this time, you know, where your drinks at this time, you know, what you drinking and what at the time, like it comes up like, this is this time, and this is this time. And I don't know if it's like almost like place marks for you to where you are in your segment. But when I say, man, shot o'clock, there it go. That's what it's called. And y'all named it so fly. Like when I say it to you is it's a rhythm to it. Yeah. It's a rhythm to it, and it's not like anybody else's. You know, so those are the things that bring people back. Those are the things that make you unique. Those are the things that make it the vibes.
Yeah, and it does. It helps me to mark time. It also helps me to stop and hydrate. So one of the fun things that we have in there, like if you stay with us and you chat, you get these points in the channel. And what people don't know, they're like, what do these points do? Well, if you use a couple points, you'll remind me to hydrate. Because what happens, I'm standing there, you may not realize it, but I am sweating. Like I'm bouncing the whole time. I'm you know, I don't have the greatest dance moves. That's why I became a DJ. And so like, but I can bounce, you know, I can chair dance. And so like, you know, I don't remember to drink anything, right? So I don't remember to hydrate. So it helps me to have a glass of wine or it helps me to have a glass of water. And if somebody says hydrate, they use 100 of their points, and then I'll remember to drink something. So it's little things that's really cool that helps me to remember. And then, and doing the drink o'clock, shot o'clock helps us to actually celebrate that it's Friday. Like on a real serious note, like there are people who were with us on Monday that didn't make it to Friday, right? There are people who were like thinking about, should I actually wake up tomorrow? Like this was it. I'm sick of it all. And this pandemic, you know, the number of people that reached out to me that said that, you know, this community, like you have no idea. And I really didn't have an idea. And so for me, shot o'clock gives us a chance to stop and celebrate. And I'm like, whatever you're drinking, wine, water, milk, juice, whatever you got, put it in a glass, take a sip. Let's take a sip together. Let's toast like whatever's happening. Let's toast each other. Let's toast to life. And then let's move on. Let's get these, let's go to the next level. You know, and so, and thankfully, again, with Marla and Lori at the helm, they make sure that those things hit at the right time.
And Marla put it, you know, thanks to automation. So some things are automated. That's awesome. This Twitch, I mean, you were the first Black person. I mean, you know, I'm not a gamer. So you are the first Black person that I knew that on Twitch. Wow. You know, now I see a lot of other Black DJs and women and men, but you to me, to my squad, we didn't know what a Twitch was, you know. So I mean, we want to get everybody on ABE Black Business Live familiar with Twitch. Download the app. It's so many privacy. You can do whatever you want to do with your privacy, but download the app. Check out the vibes because it is a vibe, right? And we all, most of my audience is of a particular age, right? He plays for a particular age.
This is facts. I am not the DJ that's going to be playing like, Future and so on and so forth. I just hit 50 with y'all. Thank God. And
Happy belated birthday, Steve.
I appreciate you and thanks for the love. But it's like, I just realized what my pocket is. And I also, it's not nothing against that music. Like I'll play a song here or there, but the fact of the matter is the catalog that I've been exposed to, that we've been exposed to, from basically the 1960s up until now is, allows me to go all over the globe and just touch and reach. So, and as long as it's dope. So one of my favorite things, Mika, is I tell people, bring your passport, right? Bring your passport. And we do that musically. Like we will move from like, we'll go from New York to Philly to LA. And next thing you know, we are over in Jamaica. We doing some reggae. And then before you know it, next thing you we sponsored by AARP. See, this is how Marla got us all, right there. But next thing you know, like we are all the way in South Africa. So one of the things I'm proud about is I heard this sound called Amapiano. I love house music, but I heard this sound out of South Africa called Amapiano, which is a type of house music, right? Mm-hmm. That is super vibey and it builds up, and next thing you know, the bass is hitting you, and it's grabbing you, and the music just hit like in 2018, like the movement just kind of sprung up, right. But it came overseas, and I started playing it in the vibes, and what I love is seeing so many other people pick up that music. I love hearing so many other people pick up African and Afro beats music as a for instance. Mm-hmm. And a lot of that I attribute to this crew of people who love music and who really challenged me to dig deep, and find stuff that's dope, put it together with something else that's dope so that they can have a good Friday, get their weekend started. So it's just superb. I love the mix. I'm sorry.
I know. I mean, it's a song that I'm still trying to figure out what song this is. I think I asked you like 20 times. You like, Mika, I done did like, I mean, what vibes are we on? We on episode probably like 200. Mika, what are you talking about? I mean, it sounded kind of like Twilight, but I knew it wasn't Twilight. It was just smooth, baby. I was like, this song is smooth, baby. I don't know why I didn't. Oh, I did tape it, but when you tape on the iPhone, it don't play the music. So I did take it. But anyway, Steve, I call you a music connoisseur because you just have a vast amount of knowledge about music, and it doesn't come off geeky. It comes off very, how can I say it? Very on time. Like it's like on a beat. It's very vibrational. I guess that's why you call it the vibe. It's like you go from one place to another, but it's not like you gotta go. It's like I'm taking you there. It's very like, okay, we're going here. Oh, I want to go. You ever have one of those days that one of your cousins or your sister or somebody be like, come over your house and y'all just end up everywhere?
Yep.
It end up being the best day of the summer, and you wasn't supposed to do none of that shit. That's how the vibes is. It's like a summer day. So you got on your fly outfit. Somebody come over your house and say, "Take this ride with me," and you end up somewhere you wasn't even supposed to be.
Having it's so dope ball. When you get there. It's so good when you get there. That's
having
right.
A ball, and you don't even want to leave.
That's right.
Because nobody want to leave the vibes. Let's talk about 934. Everybody that came in, you are watching ABE Black Business Live. Our special highlighted black guest for the evening is DJ Steve Vassar, curator of the Vibes on Twitch. Right there, pinned at the bottom. Go follow him on Twitch at twitch.tv/DJ Steve Vassar. Again, follow him on Twitch at twitch.tv/DJ Steve Vassar. When we say Twitch, you can listen to it. You don't have to look. But when you get a chance, you want to look at it because that chat be popping. You meet so many great people. Like I met Lisa through the vibes. I met Marla through the vibes. I mean, seriously, I met them through the vibes. Great people. So let's go. Let's talk about your New Year's Eve with the vibe. I
Oh,
have done 2 of them. I think it's all of them, right? It was 2, right, so far?
yep. That's so far just 2. That's right. That's right.
Let's talk about it. NYE, the vibes.
Yeah. So listen, what else you gonna do? We in the middle of a panorama. Um, like some people are going out, but some people like, I'm not going out there because the Ronus is waiting on me and I don't want no parts, right? I don't want any parts of that. So what I said was, why don't we do the vibes and do an extended remix of the vibes? And when I said extended remix, I wanted to ring in New Year's. My dream was to ring in New Year's with everybody live, but that wasn't happening. And so it's like, why don't we just but since we have people on the East Coast and the West Coast, let's just go coast to coast, right? And Lori looked at me like, who, what? Oh, I'm going to sleep. I'll see you in the morning. you know. But what wound up happening, and what was really interesting was we started off at 11 p.m. Eastern, and we just kept rolling till like 4 o'clock in the morning and hit all of the time zones. And what's so beautiful about that was the number of folks that came in and vibed with us. They're like, oh, I'm a pregame with you. They would come in, leave, go to the party, and come back. And they're like, you still on? Y'all still here? Yeah, we still here. We still going. And on top of that, when I do the vibes, one of the features of the vibes is that I will actually wear an outfit that fits the moment, or I'll try to wear a shirt or something that fits how I feel or the vibe that we want to set. And so for New Year's, one of the things that y'all got, whoever joined us, was you got like at least, every hour there was a wardrobe change. That's what happened. Every hour there was a wardrobe change. And I have this thing, I don't know where it came from, but I have this thing for these 70s ruffled tuxedo shirts. And the ruffles gotta be like pow, like they got with the collar. Like I go looking for these things and I'm like, all right, that's where I start. Then we bring it in. I got my little hat. And then from there, it's wardrobe changes and vibes the whole night. And we did that the first year, and it was a raging success. I was tired for 2 days, but I was so energized. And then we did it last year, and it was ridiculous. This year we were in Times Square. There were people. My next door neighbor has a balcony and can see into our apartment. He take the whole ass video through the window of us doing the vibes on New Year's Eve. Lori came out. She put on like 2 outfits. She helped me in and out of my clothes.
Yes.
It was like, it was epic. It was epic, but it's just what we wanted. And same thing for my birthday a couple weeks ago. Lori let me borrow her mink coat and I lost my mind. That was it. I went out the window right there because it was just so so excited, but I also wanted folks to join me in the full on excitement. So one of my favorite features is the wardrobe change. Like whenever we do the vibes and we're going for a long time, it's gonna be clothes. We're gonna change some clothes. Like you're gonna see some stuff.
And when I say fun, I mean you don't even want, like I said, the vibes is one of those places that you don't even want to leave. Like you be like, damn, oh, I know he got a sweet. She said, I missed the first. Look, I got it. I got a listen, Steve. The vibes like, listen. The vibes feel like, listen. I'm like, I don't have no moderator. Y'all going so fast. I'm trying to read everything. I ain't used to this with my Marla. Look, I ain't used to this with my chat. My chat is popping. It's going so fast. I'm like.
That's what happens to me. Right. That's what happens. It's like they come in and they start going in.
And it's funny. What I'm saying to you is funny, and I wish it saved, Steve, because what I'm saying to you is I wish it saved. When we say, well, you might not know, everybody, when you save a live, it does not save the chat, which is horrible. But you have so much love in this chat. Like you have so much love in this chat. If you ever feel like anything, please check the vibes chat and know that you are loved. You got so many people in here, so much love, Steve. And I just want to let you know that New Year's Eve, You know, people feel kind of way on New Year's Eve.
Yep.
Sometimes. You get what I'm trying to say? Like, it's just one of those times sometimes, you know, especially during this period. And you have helped me a lot New Year's Eve. Like, I mean, like, and then the next day, sometimes he do it the next day. I'm like, yes. So it's like a little continuation. It's like, you know, and he does these pop-up. Let's talk about that. He does these pop-up, like, okay, I'm going to pop up Saturday night. I'm going to pop up the next day. And sometimes when I can, when you see it, it's like right on time, Steve. It's like, yes. Yes. Let me.
So yeah, so that comes up because you know, like it depends on the week that I'm having, right? And I try not to, you know, there's a piece of me that would love to DJ every day and go on every day, like at a certain time, and just spin my heart out. And you know, I have another business that I run, which is a consulting business. And thankfully that's doing well enough that I can't always jump on. And sometimes those weeks get very hectic and I feel all this pent up energy. And I have this great debate going on around, and it's an internal debate around, should I do more or should I do less in terms of spinning? And where I landed on it was do 90 minutes on the Fridays. And if you feel so moved, jump on Saturdays. And what that really is about is how much energy I've got to get out of me. You know, it's just sometimes it's, you know, I don't have a fitness routine. Like there are some people that like literally they run, they box, they dance, they, you know, they do all these things. My routine is here. And it's this music that's running through me, and it's like, okay, I want to share it and I want to get this energy out. So what drives those pop-ups is really about, like, I still got some more gas in the tank. I got some more to say, and I'm not trying to, you know, like, if I can't open my eyes up on tomorrow morning, I want to have left the tank empty. I want to empty the tank. I don't want nothing left, and so in me. So that's sort of where that comes from. And what's beautiful is that, you know, when people get that signal, like, yo, he's on, they actually show up. And sometimes it's like 2 people, sometimes it's 50, sometimes it's 20. Who knows? All I know is I just love, like, I'm seeing Miss Richards, who is in Canada, and it, you know, she checks in every time. I want to go back to something you said earlier, Mika, and give you some flowers, which is that when you did the first class of All Black Everything, that whole learning circle, you know, I just loved how they showed up at the vibe set, you know, and they kept coming back. And I just really appreciate you for that, because I didn't know Miss Richards before I also did a set for Minda Hearts. I didn't know, like, Cage, who's over on the West Coast. Miss Richards, I call her name. I don't even call her by her first name. I don't know what it is, but I know she has one. Well, Miss Richards is up in Canada, and you know, to me, she's always Miss Richards, and she shows up, she slips in there, she's like, yeah, I'm here. All right, let's go. You know, let's go. And then you got people like Cage who crash land like, yo, I'm here and I got my whiskey. You got folks like, you know,
the fact that you know what they drink, that's the part. Like, what I'm saying to you, it's like a real, y'all, it's the bomb. It's like you instantly feel at home. The fact that you said her name and know what she drink, crazy.
That's bananas. I mean, you know, you got to know your folks, and I will even go so far as to say what I appreciate is celebrate. I love celebrating, like, especially our day ones. Like, I love celebrating you, Mika, you know, because you're very clear about who you do and don't like. We've had some good spicy conversations around who you do and don't like and why, right? In terms of music. But what's so great is, like, you know, it's Mary J, it's Nas, it's Virgo season. So I can get a lot into your birthday musically and take folks on a journey. Like, there's so many Virgos. Like, I mean, you get Luda, you got Nas, you got Beyonce, you got a whole squad of people that are right around your birthday that allow me to celebrate you. And then knowing how much you love and appreciate Nas, it's like, okay, well, that man has like 45 albums. So, you know, and mixtapes. So we can do a lot with the person like that. And what happens with the crew is when you start to learn the people, and you see them enough and you see what they react to, then you start slipping those things in. So I see Lisa in here commenting. When I see Lisa and her husband come in, I'm like, all right, you know, if I hit the right beat, either a house beat or something, you know, then she's gonna hit that bacchanal into place. And next thing you know, like I know that the furniture has moved in the room and the dog is in another room and she's having a great time. Like, and it's just it's so beautiful to have like these folks come in and to grow, and you helped us grow that way. Minda helped us grow that way. Marla, because of the work she's done all over the country, but especially in Philly, has brought all kinds of people. So everybody's bringing somebody, and it just, you know what I mean? Like,
let's talk about this connection. So, you know, the Vibes have themes, and like tonight you celebrated 2 people.
Yes.
I want you to think about the Vibes when you want to do a birthday party. I want you to think about it because your family might be all over the place. I want you to contact Steve for those things, and we'll get into his pricing in a minute. But I want you to understand that these are services that he offers, and he is right on point. You're gonna have a great time. So like, make sure you understand that you can have your birthday party at the Vibes. And have a beautiful virtual time, a virtual party. I mean, like beautiful virtual party, with all the bells and whistles, with shot o'clock, with all of the bells and whistles, including maybe an e-bot of yourself. Is it called e-bot?
The emotes. Yep, the emotes.
Emote of yourself that the people can like buy and put up on it. I mean, it could be a whole thing. I have done it myself, right? Birthdays are the best. And it don't even be your birthday, but you celebrate somebody else like,
Right.
You're like, yeah, I don't even know who you is, but it's your birthday. And it's a vibe. Let's talk about your services real quick.
Yeah. So, you know, they come in 3 different packages, and one, as you talked about, is virtual. And my favorite virtual events actually are the ones where we are where we're on Zoom, so I can actually see people moving around, and you know, they're in the chat. They don't get the emotes there, but they can, you know, they use the emojis, and you can see them chair dancing or dancing in their room and hanging out. And sometimes they'll even talk back to you, you know, in the Zoom, which is dope. So that's the virtual events. And there is, you know, typically I do those by the hour because, again, people are zoomed out, just truth be told. They're kind of done with it unless they have to. And then I have what are called hybrid.
What are your clients like that do the Zooms? Let's talk about that. Like what, so we can give them the idea of what is a Zoom party. Let's go.
Yeah, so I've offered Zooms primarily for corporate clients who come in and say, look, you know, we need something to spice up. One of my favorite kind of events is the ones where they say, we need you to spice up our virtual conference, and we want you to DJ at our virtual conference. And
hear that, everybody? You hear that? Virtual conference, DJ Steve Vassar. Let's go.
Yep. And so with that, you know, what I'll do is come in on their Zoom or part of their webinar, and in between their sessions and at lunch, I'm in there spinning. And what happens is the benefit of that to these companies and corporations, believe it or not, is people stay for the whole meeting, and they come back for the next one because they're like, we want to hear what that guy's going to do. Because when I do those meetings, I'm like going everywhere from Spanish music to 70s to soul to hip hop, and it's all clean and it's all dope. And so they love that kind of stuff. And I've also done like some family events where it's just like a smaller group, like you said, like a birthday party or somebody's retiring, and people hire me in to do those. And so the virtual kind of setups really depend on the organization or the group that's hiring me. And what I'll do is I can set up things in my background on Zoom that are on theme. So we will talk about what kind of music you want, like what genre. We'll talk about, you know, certainly most people, when I'm talking to them, they want it clean.
Yeah.
So most of the music that I play, I would say about 90% is going to be clean. Sometimes it says it's clean and it's not. that's one of those things that I always have to watch out for. But typically they're so into it, people don't really mind. You know what I mean? Because it's not like I'm banging them over the head with a Luke Skywalker record.
Right.
It's giving them, you know, just some vibes and some stuff that'll help move their crowd along. And so at any rate, haven't done a virtual wedding yet, but I've heard of people doing those. But I've done primarily meetings and parties, like intimate gatherings where it's just a few folks that want to get together, you know, for a corporation.
Okay.
The other kind of event that I've done and that I do are called hybrid events. And this is where you have a portion, I might be virtual and all of your people are in the room, or I might be in the room with a set of people and there's another set of people that are virtual, they're piped in.
Awesome.
And so I think that, I'm sorry, I just caught Marlon talking about Luke Skywalker's whole name. This is what I'm talking about. But, you know, I've done events where, actually I just did one recently, where I was here in New York and there were 500 people in a conference in Phoenix, Arizona, right? And so they had me on the big screens spinning the music during all of their, you know, kind of intercessions and intermissions and during lunch. And that was kind of wild for me because
could you see them? Can I say something? Could you see them?
I could not see them. When the event was over, that was what was wild. So it was like being on Twitch, but like playing into a blind space. So there were people who were talking to me and letting me know time to go, you know, time to wind down, that kind of thing. But I could not see them, but they could definitely see me. And that's always a mind twist. So thankfully the virtual, like doing the Twitch and doing the Twitter where you can't see people has helped me to kind of just move through when you can't see people and keep a vibe going, keep the music moving for them. And certainly going back to my original and favorite sweet spot is the in-person events, right?
Finally. Look, finally.
Looking people in the face, you know, like, what you want to hear? You know, what you drinking? I can see that is not water.
Can I have the knife, please? Anybody don't go, that's Golden Child, but that's how you felt like, can I, DJ, in person, please?
Give me the knife. So
please.
It's so funny. It's so real. And so, so those are my favorite ones. And so I'm getting back into in-person events.
Yes.
And I'll tell you, Mika, that and to the audience, my preference, I'm no longer going to be, I mean, first of all, listen, bruh, 50 years old. I am not outside like I was when I was 20 something. You know, like what I will do is say that I am focusing on corporate events, on weddings, and on, you know, kind of those events where it's grown and sexy and you want that kind of vibe, you know, that feel. But you know, the DJ that's going to get in there and had a wall sweating, like that might happen. But the folks we play for, like, listen, by 9-10 o'clock, let's turn this music down and go home, please. We want to be in the car. We want to see the 11 o'clock news. That's what we're here for.
We still want to slow jam. We want to slow jam. That's how you know it's time to leave. Put the slow jam on.
We want a slow jam.
We want a damn slow jam in between.
That's right. So listen, so those are my kind of events in terms of in person. I love doing, you know, retail events. I love doing like those places.
I love that. Yes, like, you know, pop up. Yeah.
That kind of pop up retail, like we did for the All Black Everything pop up shop last year. Like those kind of things for me are so dope. And what I really want to do, because you can really set a vibe and a mood. Like the place is already staged.
Oh, my mom still talks about you. My mom was like, and you know how moms are. You know how moms are. Yep. But my mom really loved you, and she was like, "Where did you find him?" I said, "That's the look, that's the one we went all around the world for.
That's right.
The pop-up shop."
That's right. Pop-up shop.
And
That's
you
right.
ended up, where did you end up? At a pop-up
At the
shop.
pop-up shop. That's right. That's so real. That's so real. And let me tell you something. That was, you know, those kind of things for me make my heart sing. Like, I don't want to be at, Lori and I just had dinner before we came on live. And there was a DJ in the restaurant, you know, a little casual kind of place. And there was a DJ in there doing his thing. And he was, I mean, some of the songs he was playing were like, you know, they were like Baltimore club records, you know, really fast paced, like New Jersey club. I was like, man, I don't know if I should get up and twerk or what right now, but he's over there doing it. I don't mind doing those kind of spots, you know, but
Yes.
I be like in there for the rest of my life. Give me, you know, a couple hours here, a couple hours there. But again, retail events, you know, a family event here or there, and certainly corporate events I'm here for, and weddings I'm also available for.
And if you are wanting something like, you know, extra special and different things like that, like I said, if you celebrate anything, come to the Vibes. Make sure you know, get with Steve so he can customize something for you. You know, and these are the ways that you can, you know, get with DJ Steve Vassar. It's hybrid, it's virtual, it's in person now. Only for weddings, corporate, casual type situations.
You know, and retail
And
spots.
retail,
Yep.
like retail, right? Pop-ups, very casual, like a brunch, like if you're having a brunch pop-up somewhere, like those type of like vibes.
That's right.
And then
You know,
you also can reach DJ Steve Vassar on Twitch
yes.
every Friday at
Yeah,
5 p.m. Eastern for the Vibes.
That's right. And you can also hit me up on my website. It is under construction, but listen, there's a place there where you can contact me. All you got to do is let me know what you need. It's two options. Super easy. It's not DJ. It is stevevassor.com. That's my website. And
Okay.
it actually, I have the splash page up with a contact form. So, you know, again, if you want to book me for an event, or for some consulting, like those are the two options until the rest of the site gets built up. But just let me know, and we can go from there. And in terms of rates, are we in a place where I can talk about how much this all costs?
Yes, please.
One of the things I'll say, and what will drive the cost of me working with you is really how many hours are we talking, you know? And when we get past, as far as I'm concerned, when we get past 4 hours of time with the client, we're talking about at least $1,500. That's a day for me. 4 hours of performance time, just to be very clear, is not just me performing. Remember, I got to show up at a certain time to set up, right? And this is any DJ, by the way. Any DJ that shows up, they got to show up. They can't just like, it's not like they're going to turn up and plug their phone in and go to work. They actually have to show up and test equipment, set up equipment sometimes, make sure everything is copacetic, figure out what it is, get situated, make sure that the sound is right. And for me, that's at least a 2-hour lead time before I actually go on. So bear in mind, 4 hours just became 6. Beyond those 4 hours, I got to break down. Because remember, we all had spent a whole bunch of time and energy together, you know, and probably move some furniture if we did it right. And now it's time for everybody to get out and for us to clean up. And typically people like to hang around. They don't want to leave, which is nice. That's dope. Except that we gotta go. And so that's usually 2 hours of breakdown. So now 2 hours on the front end, 4 hours of performance, and then 2 hours to get out of there is 8 hours. So, you know, you can spread that 8 across the time frame, but for me, that 4 is really about performance. And within that, whatever we do together, I always ask people to provide me a playlist. And I ask them to do that not because I'm lazy, but because I want to know exactly what is going to flip your lid so I can mix it in the right place. Like I got all the other stuff, but I need to know what the mains are that are going to really help you and your guests have a great time.
Right.
and make sure that they're mixed in. And sometimes people give you a playlist, and it'll be, it'll have all kinds of stuff in it that doesn't work, but I want to know what it is. So that price point I gave you is for a day long. If you're talking about an hour, and you're talking about, I'm sorry, I just lost my train of thought. If you're talking about an hour of performance, then the rates can kind of move anywhere between $300 and $500. It really depends on what that hour looks like.
Right.
And then if we're talking multi-day, then I absolutely look at I want to look at, like, what are we talking, but I tend to discount on multi-day. So it's not like 2 days, full days will cost you $3,000. I tend to work and figure out where I can cut some corners for you. The last thing I'll say is that if I'm coming to you, whether it's a hybrid event or an in-person event, sound is separate. That's a separate cost. So I don't come to you with speakers and turntables and, lights and that whole thing, because different venues require different things.
Yep.
So I'll talk to you about how to hire the right kind of company, depending on where you are. We'll find a company that's reasonable for your budget. And then my cost and their costs are two separate things, because, I don't want to get into those things with the client. I want to make sure that they know what the cost of the local is, the local sound person,
Right.
and what their budget is. Last thing is travel. Like, if I'm coming to you, then I'm definitely, and this is, again, most DJs, my fee does not include my travel. It doesn't include my lodging, a car, that kind of thing. So those are things we have to work out when we get into contracts if I'm coming to you. Sister.
When I say he's worth it, like, Steve is the bomb, professional all the way around, and very intricate about your setup, about how things sound, how he's placed, where he's placed to best service the crowd. I really appreciate you, Steve, coming on the show. And I really like that breakdown, explaining to people the DJ side, the business side of it. We had fun in the beginning, but this is ABE Black Business Live. You're gonna learn some things on here. And it's great to have a DJ on, because you are our first DJ. We have never, ever had a DJ on here. And for people to understand, some people might want to get into this industry. Some people might want to hire a DJ. And now you know all of the ins and outs and the pricing of different things. And I thank you for giving us that information. And I'm so hyped. Like, I'm really so hyped about this endeavor that you're going on, right? This new endeavor that you're going on. Let's go. End us out. It's 10:03, so I took 3 minutes of more of your time. But end us out, Steve. How do you want to end us out? Always let our guests end us out. End us out, Steve.
Yeah, first of all, I want to just encourage everybody to remember that song, whatever that song was that, takes you to a very happy place. Always, always, always remember that song and pull that song up. For me, it's Frankie Beverly and Mays' Happy Feelings. Like, if I hear that song anywhere, I'm in a happy space, and then secondly, don't forget, to your point earlier, Mika, you got peoples, you got tribe, and they love you, and they're going to hold you up, and they're going to challenge you, and they're going to push you, and just remember that you got them and they got you. And I think with that, Mika, I just want to thank you for this platform that you have created. I mean, I just, love you. I really appreciate you. It's deeper than rap for us.
It is. It really is. It really is. It's like, you and Lori ain't going nowhere. Please, no. No, God, no.
That's right.
Aisha too. I told her that, like, I don't want to mess up. No, y'all know.
Listen,
y'all know
no,
go. Y'all know go nowhere. No.
You can't. And so I just, I just appreciate how you have held up and shown up no matter what for us and by us and really like led this thing. And I'm just so grateful for you and for this time. So thanks to everybody who listened and everybody who's listening, and you know, special shouts of course to my wife Lori. What up, bae? I'm on my way. I'm gonna be out of these clothes in 13.2 seconds. Don't worry, it's Friday, TMI, but that's what it is. Yes.
I love y'all. I love y'all. I love y'all. I love y'all. And I love the Vibes family. Listen, Marla, Lori, Steve, Lisa, I think her name is Lynette. Everybody that's on here.
Miss
Thank
Annette.
you.
Yep.
Y'all let just know that you're appreciated. Thank you for tuning in. Y'all was in here deep. Y'all had my chat rolling. If my chat be rolling like that, baby, I'm gonna need a moderator. Okay. The way this chat was rolling, I wish I could save it though and give it to you, Steve. It was beautiful. It actually was beautiful. I love you too. I love y'all. Hey, y'all. Thank you for tuning in to tonight's ABE Black Business Live with no other than the curator of the Vibes.
Ooh.
On Twitch every Friday at 5 p.m. Eastern.
Ooh. Mika, can I show you something?
Yes, please. Yes.
This ties into next week's live. You ready?
Yes.
You ready?
Yes.
The Black Genius Art Show.
Yes.
This is a one of one from these cats. So when you see them, please tell them we repping out here.
Yes, leave it up. I love Black Genius. Shout out to Brian. We're gonna talk to this genius next week from Baltimore. Brian of the Black Genius Show. Steve just rolled us into the next ABE Live. Leave it up, Steve. Leave it up. Next week on ABE Black Business Live. You see this shirt? Oh man, he got more dope stuff. Brian of the Black Art Genius will be on ABE Black Business Live every Friday at 9 p.m. Listen, be more in the house, y'all. Be more in the house. Listen, Steve, my friend, thank you so much. Let's come back on here so we can peace out.
Yes.
Peace out.
Oh,
have a nice
love
Friday, y'all.
See y'all. Take good care, everybody. Thank you, Mika.
Thank you, Steve.